Do you wanna eat some popcorn? It kinda reminds me of snow. Gynophobia is a game from July 31st, yes, from this very year of 2015, in which you start in your mom's room, watching a crow fly slowly, for some reason. So you think you're gonna die? Crows throw garbage away, which is more than I can say for most people, though this crow is smarter since it's Japanese. Ei karasu.
I love you, Kurama.
Huh? They're in that group of animals we can't say are less smart or just haven't developed the cultural apparel we have. Together with primates, elephants, dolphins, and hymenoptera. That's ants, bees, and wasps for us mere mortals. Crows are a part of the crown of intelligence in which you can say that one is really smarter than the other.
I love you, Kurama.
Huh? Notice I didn't specifically mention humans. And it's because of this game. Phobias can be a great theme for a horror game, but when you see that the name is Gynophobia, you think, dude, he really needs to be creative to use this and make a good story. But don't worry, he didn't and he wasn't creative. But does that mean that the game sucks? Well, I certainly was impressed when I saw there was Portuguese in it. So, after looking out a window for centuries while the reviewer talks about crows and shoves in a Saint Seiya reference, the game starts in your mother's room with a bra and paintings lying around. Okay. And she reads potion books. No, there ain't no Portuguese. The mother read this book? My mother or your mother, you mother? The English is better, but not by much. Why does Mom read this book? After seeing your mother is an alchemist who doesn't put her clothes away, I hope, you discover you have arachnophobia? By the way, arachnophobia is the fear of spiders, not to be confused with rachophobia, the fear of shelves and boobs, and haphobia, the fear of practical jokes. Because all of those are so believable. Didn't I have gynophobia? Well, this is more promising. It's ridiculous you put a veg-oriented name to get attention, but this is more promising. Personally, I prefer gotta-explainophobia. So, what seems to be the problem? Dr. Frucht wants to help, but you got to explain.
Meow, meow. I'm going to the little spider's room.
Why do you have a little spider's room?
Hey, my mom's an alchemist, okay? Leave me alone.
Okay. After the spiders takes pity on you and lets you pass, you gotta play an FPS. And it's a zombie game. After a forgettable sewer level with your flashgun light, available in every Unlikely Game article store. You get to the surface. Your goal is to get 3 wheels for this van, and the game throws a couple of other things also. And despite this game having a really bad reputation already, I like this part. Don't get me wrong, it could have been improved and polished, but it's an interesting scenario. First, this isn't a survival game with an infinite number of enemies. There are enough to make you die a couple of times if you don't pay attention. For instance, if you go backwards to keep your distance and end up in a corner you can't get out of. But it isn't a go around firing and hope to get 'em kind of thing. More on that later. You can actually reduce your pursuers to 1 frequently. Headshots aren't perfect, but they seem calibrated in favor of the players, so it ain't bad. Again, more on that later. And there's this guy. This guy is awesome. He looks like Bebop with less boar and more giant, and with Eddie Murphy's pants, and a range no human could need or carry alone. Giant's delirious Bebop, and if he catches you, you're dead. He isn't scary, he's just awesome. And an invincible enemy you can avoid easily but can't forget works well here. If that was it, it would be an okay game. I'd forgive the dancing zombies and the problems with AI, and being able to pull the wheels through the fence since the guy can still get you through the fence as well. In other words, up to here, it's a weird opening and a not well thought out FPS, but a fun one. I dare say it's more fun than 80% of Final Fight. You know, walk, hit, walk, hit. Here, at least, I can aim and headshot enemies. In fact, there are not so noticeable fun details. For example, going by a store called Rod and Gun. Can you say testosterone more directly than that?
This is my boomstick!
Oh yeah, but this is still fun. And how about a head that seems to have been used as a basketball? Suddenly that guy from King of Fighters looks much more threatening, doesn't he? The only really frustrating thing here is the Corner of Doom! Okay, visually it isn't much, but if you by any chance don't have in mind that it exists, your game might be lost and you might have to restart the stage. Basically, you need a toolbox before you can put the wheels onto the van. If you do exactly what the game tells you to do and brings a wheel before having the toolbox, the wheel can go to the corner and your hand simply doesn't appear. Look at this! I float before being able to get the wheel. Corner of Doom! Okay, what did you want me to call it? Programming error? Corner of Doom! Sounds better. Getting everything, the scene fades out and you feel you accomplished something. Then you remember this isn't the whole game. After showing you are a successful gamer, you're home and you get a message from Dad saying, "Hey, remember the title? Yes, that was not supposed to be random!" Your dad, by the way, is one of those guys who thinks blowing up zombies' heads isn't enough to be a man. You gotta think of women as objects with fuckable holes. Oh, Ukraine is still way too influenced by Putin. 'Cause crushing cheese makes so much sense. You walk around the house, a spider makes you tremble, looking at a woman makes you tremble, and you drink a potion your mother made that makes your vision tremble until you collapse onto a bed. Then you go back to the FPS with exactly the same weapons. But now your enemies are spiders and zombies. Women zombies. Andrei? That's the guy who made the game, and according to Creoshock's website, he's the whole team. And I respect anyone that can make a game alone. I could barely do it on RPG Maker, and it's crap. But Andrei, you do realize the problem with zombie women is the zombie part, right? I mean, I don't have anthropophobia, but I doubt people who do watch The Walking Dead and says, "Finally, a series that shows the world as it is!" I have a little claustrophobia, but when that happens, the walls get too big and too close. They don't turn into the cow intestines in Spooky's House of Jump Scares. You're giving a legitimate reason to fear and attack women. See, gives the zombie women won't make the kid want to be eaten. And here, the fun ends. Headshots? Ha! The shot detection is so absurdly ridiculous that any interesting idea, as creative as they may be, becomes easily forgettable. Spider bridge? So what? I gotta shoot in front of the tiny spiders not to be hit by their acid, and half the time the headshot of the flying heads is on their lungs. But you have space to move around, right? No. You have holes to fall into, less ammo, few healing items, and the problem I mentioned before. Right after a tiny hidden spider that can take almost all of your energy, the walls close and a bunch of zombie women and spiders attack you. The cave is a small circle full of enemies and shot detection is still shitty. Screw Juan Dark Seed. That game isn't a pain in the ass like the second half of this game is. This might be the actual Cave of Impossible. You're gonna die a lot here, no matter what strategy you use. In fact, the best thing that happened was when I got to a corner atop a rock and almost no enemy could hit me. And I finally survived for about a minute. But that was an accidental super jump. That actually happens a couple of times. That's when I understood my mistake. I was playing this game as if it made sense. Games that make sense don't have corners of doom or steps of doom. After all, holes, pillars and irregularities in caves are normal, But no serious game would have a piece of Tomb Raider this size that requires you to jump to get through right before two flying heads you can't headshot, and certainly would not hide healing items between a pillar and this problematic spot. No, this is a B game. You have to look and laugh at the zombie chef bleeding from her head. So, of course, I survived for sheer luck, while shooting any enemy that was close. No strategy. Finally, after going through an uninteresting mutation, you get to the final boss. Arachne, the character from Greek mythology that was twisted and shoved into the Spider-Man play for no reason. She shoots fireballs somewhat randomly, many times not hitting you at all, but if you get hit 4 times you are almost dead. That means 4 shots can kill you, and since every attack has 5 random direction shots, you can die for nothing or be unharmed without having done anything. So, thanks to alchemy and killing a Spider-Woman spider, now he can open the door and not freak out because of how fake those Tupperware boobs look on this woman, whoever she is. Or the fact she was standing there while you imagine caves of women wanting to eat you. Ukraine, and of course I'm talking to the people who think Putin is manly because he walks around with no shirt. Andrei Yankovic, you do see what the problem is, don't you? You're making a game where you're a gamer and you win at games, which is your audience's ideal, and then you say only magic can help them. Besides, of course, insinuating gamers go through their mother's panties. Your game's on posters to spark interest in gamers? Smart. A game about Hell Valley Skytree? Interesting. Hey gamers, you're all sissies, you're only going to date lifeless women willing to stand at a door without moving, looking straight forward, that make real dolls look hyperactive. No. It's like... Yes? May I help you? Do you want something? Are you just gonna stand there? No, wait! Stop! Where